Satsuma Shime, perfect strangle. I'm going to show two versions, the traditional version and Sensei's Aiki Jiu-Jitsu version from standing. Traditional version, I'm starting on the ground in Seiza, facing the other person, or 2 meters apart, or 1 full tatami length. We start off with a bow. The other person bows, and I'm going to sort of fake my bow. Put my hands down like I'm getting ready to bow, and I start to sort of drop my head. And once I see them commit to that bow, I come up. Come up on 3 fingers, my thumb, pointer, and middle finger. Hop to my feet in a squatting position, and I take a big step across my body to either side. And then second step, step around, so I'm right next to the person in a perpendicular facing position. I go to the other side, go into my bow, 3 fingers, up on my feet, big step around, second step, I'm right next to them. The reason why I'm not going straight in is so I don't want them to see me coming towards them as they bow, the feet coming in, the idea being hopefully I'm going around far enough around their peripheral vision as they go down to bow. They come up, the hand comes up, I'm grabbing the hand. It's right in, thumbs on the back of the hand, fingers wrapping around the meat of the hand, and I'm locking it up to lift them up. I don't need them to stand up, but I want them to come up, at least off their butt, onto their knees, to help set up the throw that I'm going to do. So if I'm the uke, I go in, I bow. As I come up, my hand gets grabbed and locked and lifts me off my butt onto my knees with that wrist locked. I've set up just a gi wrapped around a foam roller to create the neck, and I'm sitting in a chair just so it's a relatively close height. Bow, come up, step around, 1, 2, lift and lock. From here I'm going to drape that arm around my neck. I don't really care if they make that, if they try to lock that in with a headlock, that's fine. I need to get in close, come over the shoulder, and I'm going to grab the lapel on the far side. What I'm doing is the bone on the pinky side of my arm is going right into the carotid on the close side, and I'm pulling the gi across the carotid on the far side. So I'm already setting up that strangle. I go in for a roll, this front leg, I drop my shin on the ground parallel to the belt line, and I'm going to roll at a 45-degree angle, throwing them straight over ahead of me. As I roll, this back leg is going to help lift them up, a little bit like Hanegoshi. I lift them up all the way over, and I come up behind them. Now we're both facing the same direction. I'm behind them. I just have my arm over the shoulder, across the throat, grabbing the far side lapel. That would be hard to grab from here, but I set it up that way from the beginning when I was in front. And then when I roll and come up, at the end, I'm still holding on. My other hand, I've got the far side of the neck or the gi, whatever you find is the best way to get counter pressure. Drop those elbows, lock it in, and I'm strangling them from behind. I like to finish with just a little elbow to drop them down, but that's unnecessary. Ideally, I'm going to go here until they are unconscious, and then you can just let them drop. From one other angle. The nice thing about the 2 meters is it also gives me a sense of how far I'm going to throw them. I'm basically going in, and then I'm going to throw them back out about 2 meters away from where they are, so I get a sense of my space in the very beginning. Go in, bow, step around, lock that arm, wrap, set up the strangle, drop and roll, come up behind them. Reinforce on the far side, and strangle. Also have my knee in their back. You kind of push them away for some extra counter pressure. Now for the standing version, Sensei's doing now, from a straight punch, I'm going to parry to the outside of the arm that's punching, parry, parry, and instead of checking that arm, I'm going to back fist to the face, right to the nose, try to snap the head back a little bit and expose the throat. Parry, parry, back fist, and then chop right into the throat, and then grab the lapel on the far side, just like I'm doing on the ground. Parry, parry, back fist, chop and grab. My other hand's going to chop the back of the neck, and then grab the occipital lobe or the gi. And my back leg is going to go take out the knee closest to me. I'll kind of take out their structure as I reinforce that strangle. Parry, parry, back fist, chop and grab, knee and strangle. Parry, parry, back fist, chop and grab, knee and strangle. Parry, parry, back fist, chop and grab, knee and strangle. Satsuma Shime, perfect strangle.